All right, so here's one more example of a combination of rigid motions here. So they give us another triangle. They first ask us to reflect it across the x-axis, and then ask us to then rotate it 180 degrees about the origin. Okay, so again, these are really similar problems as to what you guys are going to see. On this one, on your notes, I believe I gave you the triangle of the pre-image already, which is kind of nice of me. But anyways, we'll start here with just kind of copying down the points J, K, and L of our pre-image. So 1 and -2. Okay, we're going to obviously make a transformation here. And then K is 4, -2. And then finally, we have L, which is the point 3 and 0. Okay, and so remember, the first thing it actually asks us to do is to reflect it across the x-axis. Okay, so if we start with x and y here, and we want to reflect it about the x-axis, okay, remember it's going to flip over the x-axis, which means then the y value of each ordered pair is going to change. So this is what we'll end up with if we reflect it across the x-axis. Okay, so all we're going to do is just change the sign of our y value. Okay, so for then this means we're then going to have J prime, K prime, and L prime. And our ordered pairs for this will be now 1 and +2, 4, +2, and then 3 and 0. Notice that on this last one, since you're on the x-axis on point L, that is actually not going to change. So we'll go ahead and graph these. So again, I have 1 and 2. Okay, so 1 and 2. I then have 4 and 2. And then 3 and 0. Okay, so I'm just going to call this L prime. I then have K prime and J prime. Okay, and again, very carefully using a straight edge, connect the vertices. Okay, so there is my first step there, and now it wants us to take this, what we just had, and it wants us to then rotate it 180 degrees about the origin. Okay, so again, I apologize. I guess I used the wrong colors there. So maybe I can just do this. Okay, and so again, I guess I did this first part in red here. So the first thing I did was red, and then the second thing I'm going to do here is going to be green. My apologies. I kind of like the colors, and I don't want to confuse anybody. Okay, and so now, remember, our rule for that 180 degree rotation is we're just going to change the values, just make them basically negative, or the opposite of what they were before. So now we're talking about J double prime, K double prime, and L double prime. Okay, and now this means it's going to be -1, -2. This will then be -4, -2, and this will be -3 and 0. Right? There's really no opposite of 0, so that's all we're going to have. Okay, and so I'm just going to go ahead and graph these down. So -1, -2 will be right here. -4, -2 right here. And -3 and 0. Okay, so we'll very carefully label these. So this is now going to be J double prime. Okay, we then have K double prime and L double prime. Okay, and again, connect these up. And there is our composition of rigid motions. Okay, and so again, this is pretty much what we're going to be expected to do on the test. All right, so make sure that you take a look at your homework problems and ask questions if you have them.